All of this among the reasons some House Republicans have talked about drawing up articles of impeachment against President Joe Biden. Joining me right now with more on all of this and this investigation are Georgia Congresswoman Marjorie Taylor Greene and Arizona Congressman Andy Biggs, both members of the House Oversight Committee. Thanks very much for being here. Marjorie Taylor Greene, let me kick things off with you and ask you to tell us where this investigation stands. I know you're waiting for more bank records. What can you tell us?
Well, we subpoenaed more bank records last Friday, and while we're waiting for those, we're expecting to see tens of millions of dollars exposed that went to the Biden family. But the shocking part is, Maria, that we have the FBI director, Christopher Wray, that refused to hand over an unclassified form, the 1023, to our oversight committee that Andy Biggs and I both sit on under Chairman Comer. The other shocking part is that not only did he force us to read this unclassified form in a skiff, he redacted not only names, which is actually more understandable, but he redacted the most important part of information on there is that there was 17 audio recordings, 15 of Hunter, 2 of Joe Biden himself, about Joe Biden taking a $5 million bribe. How dare Christopher Wray have the audacity to hide this information for his boss, Joe Biden? This is purely protecting crimes. He's hiding crimes the president of the United States committed when he was vice president, and that's where we stand right now.
Well, that's nothing new. They've been stonewalling all of you from day one. What are you going to do about it?
Maria, I personally believe we have to hold him accountable. Go ahead, Andy.
Yeah, thanks, Marjorie. And I would tell you that the first step where we can hold these guys accountable is the Holman Rule. And that's where I think we go first. And that's where we can actually reorganize aspects of the FBI and people like Christopher Wray get held accountable that way. But, Maria, and Marjorie's really done a good job summarizing this, but there's also additional 1023s that we know of that Christopher Wray has been dragging his feet on those as well. And we're not sure exactly how much more information we're going to have and how much more this is going to tie in with Joe Biden. But again, Christopher Wray is taking 1023s. And don't forget, just 2.5 weeks ago, he said there wasn't any 1023s. And then when we finally pushed him on it, he said, okay, here you go. And then he redacts this important information.
Yeah.
And I'll tell you that the oligarch also indicated that he has additional communications besides these tapes with the Biden family. So it's pretty extensive. We think it's leading right into Joe Biden, and that means that we should be, and because what Marjorie said, I believe this is the biggest political scandal in the history of the country. You've got a vice president conducting illegal activity, and then you have the DOJ protecting him.
Well, of course, it is the biggest political scandal any of us have ever seen. So that's why I want to get back to these tapes for a moment, because, you just said that there are 15 recordings of Hunter Biden and 2 of Joe Biden. Andy Biggs, look, obviously we need evidence. We've been talking about this for a long time. So far, the evidence has been bank records. Where are these tapes?
Well, we don't know. The oligarch kept the tapes for his own protection. The reason he did, and he said it in his 1023 statements that he was giving, he said, I'm doing this so that it'll take 10 years to link me to Joe Biden, and he's doing it for his own protection. Wow. And don't forget that he also said he felt coerced. So he's got the evidence. He's just been loath and been afraid to disclose those to us because I'm just telling you, there's some really bad guys, not just in the U.S., but in other areas of in the world that would like to get their hands on these tapes, and the oligarch himself probably.
Well, hold on. Marjorie, if this is all true, why hasn't Joe Biden been impeached?
Well, I'm going to tell you right now, Maria, that's where I'm at. I think impeachment is fully in order. The American people agree with impeachment. Every single poll I see, over half the country believes Joe Biden has committed crimes while he's held office. Impeachment is our tool to fire people that are corrupt, that are criminals, and that are doing things wrong while they hold public office. I'm all for impeachment. I don't know why our conference hasn't moved there yet, because the American people are. And as far as evidence, we have evidence. We have bank records tons of them, that show the Biden family, Hunter, all kinds of family members, even grandchildren, being paid millions and millions of dollars from all these foreign countries that we know they have no business to prove that they're producing a product or a service to be making all this money. Hunter Biden is a crackhead. His evidence that we have on him showing all of his prostitutes coming from Ukraine, coming from Russia, this shows that this man was only purely profiting by his father's powerful positions. Joe Biden absolutely should be impeached, but I got to tell you, Maria, so should Christopher Wray. Christopher Wray is no dummy. He has quite a law career. He comes from a very respected firm, King and Spalding, here in Georgia. This is a man that knows exactly what he's doing, and he's using the power of the FBI director's position to protect and hide the crimes from the American people. These are unclassified forms. Everyone should be outraged. I'm demanding impeachment. I'm with the American people, and it doesn't bother me that the conference is not there yet. I think it's the right thing to do.
Well, what's the process on impeachment? How does that start, Andy?
Well, we need to get a resolution to the floor, and I believe I'm where Marjorie is. Joe Biden should be impeached. First thing we would do is we should take a preferred motion to the floor, so it'd get priority, and then it goes to the House Judiciary Committee. We do our inquiry, and then we make a recommendation to the entire body. That should be going on forthwith. Unfortunately, I recognize what Marjorie does, that there's a significant number in our conference that aren't there yet. I'm not sure what's going to take to get them there. But impeachment is basically to remove somebody from office who's committed, who you cannot wait for the next election. And I don't know how we can wait for another 18, 19 months with Joe Biden in there when we know he's corrupt, and we don't know how compromised he is with places like China. We don't know if we're in Ukraine because he had some debts and obligations that he had to repay. All of these things come to bear on whether you impeach somebody. And I think Joe Biden has impaired our safety and our security and our prosperity as the president of the United States.
Now, this is just incredible and stunning. We will keep a spotlight on it. We so appreciate both of your time. Thank you, Congressman Andy Biggs, Congresswoman Marjorie Taylor Greene. Great work. We appreciate it, both members of the House Oversight Committee. We'll be right back with more on Communist China. Stay with us.